Check it out. We are in the Redwoods and it's so beautiful. I just have my little phone camera, so nothing really fancy right now, but you don't need anything fancy when you're in the Redwoods because it's very beautiful. So I'm in Northern California and I'm right next to Avenue of the Giant. So this is someplace that everybody can come. All right, this is accessible to everyone because you can drive down right through Avenue of the Giants and just be passing some of the biggest, tallest trees in the world. But today I want to talk about fire because fire is a really important part of redwood ecosystems. Lots of ecosystems actually, and it's hard to fathom that right now because we're like, fires burn down people's houses. Oh, I know. Okay, I've had friends lose houses in fires every fire season for the last 3. Okay, so trust me, I know. But you know what? Fires do a lot of good things too. In fact, fires have been part of Northern California for so long that plants have evolved for fire. They're called pyrophytic plants, okay? Pyrophytes. And so fire, think about pyromaniac. They're the people that are arsonists with the matches in the forest, and starting fires everywhere. But we're not talking about them. We're talking about plants, okay? Some plants are pyrophytic where their cones won't even open, like cypresses and knobcone pines, because they're covered in resin. They won't even open until they burn, okay? So it has to be a hot fire to melt that, and they open, the seeds fall out, okay? So fire-adapted plants are a thing. There's also fire-resistant plants like redwoods. So redwoods have a foot-thick bark that has very little resin in it. So they'll survive the fires, the bigger redwoods will, while all the other trees die. And so that's why redwoods are like the climax tree. They're the tree that's left because they can survive fires. So a lot of plants know about fire. They ain't rookies. They know what's up. So I'm going to show you something pretty crazy here that fire does. So do you see that? That is a hole in a tree. That tree is hollow, okay? So you're like, oh, that poor tree, it died. Well, let's see if it died. So redwoods are evergreen. They have their leaves year round, okay? And you know, redwood trees are really tall. So we're gonna go look for some leaves because if it's alive, it will have green leaves, right? So you're like, ooh, I don't know, that tree looking like Frankenstein. It's probably dead and there's burn marks all over it. But if we go up and up, and up, you can see that up there is green leaves. This tree, like Frankenstein, is alive. And that's wonderful because it's still growing. And in the meantime, it provides really good habitat. So this is called a gooseberry tree. And the reason why it's called a gooseberry tree is because back during the Depression, people used to keep their geese in it. So let's go inside and see how big it is. You're like, don't go in there, Pennywise, Freddy Krueger. I'm not afraid of them. I'm not afraid of them. So can you see me? So look, it's pretty big. Sometimes I see kids in here and they're like, and it looks really fun, so I had to do it myself. This is a really cool habitat feature that exists in old growth forests because this forest has never been logged. This tree is hundreds, probably over 1,000 years old, and it's completely hollow and still alive because the wood in the center of a redwood is already dead. You think, oh, that must have been a hot fire to carve all that out. Well, it wasn't just one fire. It was several. So the bark is really thick, but sometimes another tree will fall down and scrape the bark off, or a bunch of debris will accumulate on the bark, and then so when it burns for a really long time slow, it will finally burn its way through the bark, and then it exposes the wood. So then fire goes out and this fungus that's been waiting in the cuts, it's called Puria sequoia. It's like, oh, I've been waiting for this moment. So Puria sequoia, Sequoia sempervirens, see, there's a relationship. They even share a name. So a lot of funguses can't mess with redwoods because redwoods got so much tannic acids. In fact, a lot of insects can't mess with redwoods because redwoods have such strong tannic acids. So the Puria sequoia's got to wait till a fire happens. So then it gets behind the burn and it starts eating the sapwood and the heartwood. And then it makes the wood punky. So when another fire comes, it makes it even bigger, the hole here. And then Puria sequoia's like, okay, here we go again. It comes back and it eats a little more in the fire, and they take turns until there's this hollow tree. And when that happens, lots of animals can live in here, like this one. So this one's all whoops. Oh, it's stuck. Here we go. It's all thank you because this is a black bear, okay? And they live in these. And that's why you just don't want to see one of these and run up to it and be like, and go in there because they got sharp teeth. You're going to scare them. Black bears usually don't attack. But if they have a baby in there and you jumped on top of them, oh no, something weird might happen. I wouldn't try that. But a lot of times bears also have much kinder, less easily spooked roommates, and that's bats, because this hollow right here goes way up the tree, and it's great bat habitat. There's only 4.6% of the old growth redwood forest left, so there's not a lot of goose pens left. And fires don't occur regularly like they used to, because we prevent fires now, which is not. We need to do better management, because when we prevent fires, it builds up the fuel loads like the sticks and the branches, and it makes hotter fires. The people who lived here for thousands of years in this area they called themselves Sisinkium, and they actually set fires regularly, and so these kinds of things could form quicker. So goose pin trees are really good habitat, awesome feature that exists in all kinds of different state and national parks that you should go and visit, because there is no place like the redwoods.